Hey.
Should my hair get out the way?
I know. Welcome back to Candid Talk with Lexi Love
and Valentina versus Valentino.
Yay! Another week down, and we are here to talk about a lot of things that went on this past week. But first, before we get started, we got a really lovely drink tonight.
It looks scrumptious.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what it looks like.
Beautiful.
Let's try it first, and then we'll talk about it.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that is so good.
So good. Mm-hmm. So it is called the Velvet Cream Martini.
Yes.
It's really good. It's almost like a coffee. It doesn't have any coffee in it, but it gives you that like coffee vibe.
Because you got that chocolate in there and you put cinnamon. What'd you put in there?
So, I don't know how recent this is, but I saw a commercial on TV with Di Serono, which is my absolute favorite. Like, I love it. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So when I saw that they came out with a new flavor, I was like, ooh, this would be a good idea for our podcast on Wednesday. So I went online to see, and I saw this recipe, and I'm like, okay, that's perfect. That's what I'm making. So the only difference is I add a little Baileys. You try any different with the Baileys?
I love Baileys.
I feel like you can't taste the almond as much.
Okay, so the original one is...
It didn't have Baileys in it. It was just the Di Serono, the Kahlua, and I added vodka to it. But this time, I added the Baileys and then the cinnamon.
Oh, well, I like the Baileys in it.
I like it like this, too.
This is really good.
It's really good.
This is like a brunch drink. Like,
you think so?
Yeah, like if you...
Like get your day started?
Well, yeah, like if you had waffles, chicken and waffles or something, and you have this.
Yeah.
Instead of coffee.
Right. Yeah.
It's over. So you told everybody what you put in it, right? And we put we cut the cherry and put it on so you guys can see it. Yeah. This is really good. I might lick the martini glass.
You think so?
I've tried not to. I love chocolate anyway.
Yeah. So I love it.
It is solid. It is very good. So, you see, Valentina got her hair done again this week. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
I love it. I love when she changes her style, But I guess she got it from me because, I am the queen of changing styles. I haven't recently, but, I will eventually.
Yeah.
So, did anything happen this week? Pet peeve? Anything exciting? Nothing? Every time I ask her, like
I
nothing.
know, I just never have anything.
Never, no pet peeve either?
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay, well, let's see. I got a few exciting things that happened to me this week. I got casted to be my first Rage zombie. That was fun. Like, exciting. These people came from LA to film here in Atlanta. It was amazing. I was out there. I had to be on call by 3:00, and that was a long process. 3:00, and then I guess she got finished with my makeup about 6, and we actually, because they were filming another scene. So we kind of had to wait. It was only 2 of us. So it was kind of like they wanted to use us exclusively for a particular scene.
Right.
And it was amazing. It was I think we were out in the woods probably like 12:30, 1 a.m. And all I could think about was spiders getting on me.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about. They're like, well, you need to get, I'm scared of the freaking spider.
It was lights everywhere so you could see.
No. The only lights they had was what we were filming with because they wanted the dark. They wanted that scene to be dark. You could see. I'm sure you can see it because movie magic.
Filming, they can see.
Yeah, movie magic. But yeah, it was dark out there.
It wasn't a set. It was just kind of y'all.
We were on location.
We were on location,
And yeah, and so I can't wait to see it. I really can't because I actually,
you don't know when it's coming out?
No. I'm hoping before October because I don't know how long after they film it, how long it takes to editing because it's a big process that goes through.
It's still gonna be a while.
Yeah, people don't understand. I mean, people who are in the industry understand, but people who don't know after you edit, especially when you're doing a long feature, because she was, you want to at least have at least 80 to 90 minutes worth of film for a full feature. And so, yeah, that may take a while to edit. So I can't wait because I didn't even realize that I was outside of who I was when they actually said action. They were like, oh my God, they were like really impressed. So I can't wait. And then I got my business license from my production company this week. So I'm really happy about that.
So what's the next step with that?
Next step is I'll be consulting with a business manager, like kind of help me figure out what direction I want to go. See,
this is somebody you have to go and see, or
no. This is all comes in with the thing that company that I went with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is like I'm really trying to be very professional about this, and because I wanted to grow. This is what I want to do. I figure if I can't be invited to anybody's club, then I'll make my own club.
Right. Yeah.
So I know it's inside. It's inside. You probably know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we won't discuss that.
Right.
But yeah. So I'm excited. So once I do, get that together and maybe get some things going.
Right.
I already know what. First project that I want to do, that I wrote this project years ago. Matter of fact, Jada graduates in 2024, and when I wrote this, she was 6 years old.
Oh wow!
So I'll have to get a screenwriter because they're going to have to change it over from a book that it's currently in into actually lines and the whole thing that you would have as as a script for a feature. Okay. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. Yeah. And I have some other stuff going on as well. So,
we'll save that for next time.
Yeah, we'll save that for next time once that evolves into bigger and better things. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and my thing went off.
What's the title?
The title is Family Relationships. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, is family. We talked about, mother and daughter. So family.
And then we did siblings.
Oh, yes, siblings. So this
I
is
think
family.
that was the same one.
No. We did, remember we did the mother and daughter relationships?
Yeah, and then we did one on siblings.
And we did one on siblings. And now this is family, meaning that anybody in your family.
Oh, okay.
So anybody, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandmothers, whatever.
Right.
So yeah.
Whoever fits the answer.
Whoever fits in the family. So we're going to be, dabbling in that a little bit. Because, I love talking about relationships. And I think it's because everything that we deal with is relationships, whether it's business relationships, personal relationships, work relationships.
Yeah.
There's always our dynamics, and every single thing we do in this life is revolved around relationships.
I don't know. Hopefully I can answer some of these questions because, really... We'll see how it goes. You don't really interact with family as much as, and I think that we've lost that. You really got to be a special person. Yeah. So, before we get started with the rapid relay that she's going to do on me. But you already know the questions.
Well, I wrote them. But still, I still have to, but still.
So you had a chance to think about it. I
thought anytime that I write anything, I already know the answer to everything that I write. Anything that I write.
So what's going to be fun about it?
It's not about being fun.
Okay.
No. We gotta wait. I just wanted to tell you my pet peeve.
Oh, what's your pet peeve?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was talking to my cousin this today, Michael Brown, my favorite cousin, my first cousin on my dad's side.
I feel like y'all haven't talked in a while.
I know. He was like, "Oh, I haven't heard from you." He's like, "Oh, I just figured that you didn't want to be bothered with me." I'm like, "The heck? Like, seriously?" I mean, I know that your daughter's graduated from high school,
Right.
and she went to prom. That was beautiful.
Right.
And he said she paid for a lot of stuff on that. He told me
She paid for
yeah,
it?
some of the stuff she paid for. He said some of the stuff, but majority of the stuff, yeah, because she went and got everything done. He said that between,
So she paid for her dress?
I don't know what she paid for because she works. So she helped her dad because because he told me that between her prom and her graduation was almost a wedding budget. I'm like, the hell?
Come on, like in the thousands?
Yes. It's crazy, isn't it? For prom, I mean, our other cousin in Kansas City as well. He went to prom, and I saw his pictures. I'm like, are these people getting married?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Kayla's boy.
Son. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, are these people getting married? That's crazy to me. That's just like a lot going on. But yeah, we were talking about like relationships. I was just giving him a little bit of insight of my dating pool.
Right.
And he was just, he said something. I mean, Michael's older than me, but he was like, he's like, people don't love anymore. He says they don't love anymore. He says that they are, and this is just his opinion. I mean, because it's not for everybody. You got to understand, when we talk, this is not directed as the law. This is just something that people experience. He's experienced it. I've experienced it. Other people have experienced it. It doesn't mean that you have experienced.
Especially growing up in a different time, you can definitely compare.
Yeah, and he was just like, people don't love anymore.
Right.
He says, he goes, I feel bad for you. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, I might end up, being by myself, but, I'm not going to just settle with someone and they might just decide to up and leave. Just because. It's not because there's anything wrong. They just feel like, oh, well, something's better.
Right.
And so, we had a really long conversation about that. Yeah. And so, yeah. And the only reason I brought it up is because he's family. We're going to be talking about family. So we laughed. I had him laughing. He was just like, girl, I miss you so much. Because I can talk to him like any, real, very candid and say anything to him. And we just laugh for hours. And I love that relationship with him. Right. So, yeah. So, okay, let's go ahead and move on to the rapid relay. You can go as fast if you want to.
Okay, favorite music group?
Mint Condition.
Favorite food?
Sushi.
Favorite vacation spot?
Anything that has water.
Marriage or single?
Marriage, of course.
Favorite vehicle?
SUVs, XLs, any kind of trucks. I know, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I know, huh?
Oh, wow.
That was easy, huh? What about you? What about you? Favorite music group?
NSYNC.
What's that? NSYNC?
First thing that comes to your mind.
Favorite food?
Ooh, seafood.
Favorite vacation spot?
Paris.
You ain't never been.
But I want to go.
Okay, you want to go?
Love it.
Okay, you gonna love it? You gonna go to the tower?
Yeah.
Everything?
The Eiffel Tower? Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower. You're gonna do the whole love?
Shebang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be the whole thing.
Marriage or single?
Marriage.
And favorite vehicle?
Mercedes, BMW, G-Wagon.
She gotta go. You said that last week when Tiny was with us.
Yeah, because that's my favorite vehicle. That's my adult vehicle.
That's your adult.
That's my adult
her grown vehicle. I'm telling you, this is good. And I normally try not to drink as much when we're on here, but this is really good. So, oh yeah, by the way, just go ahead and let you guys know. And if you hear anybody in the background, it's because Sierra is streaming right now, and so yeah. So if you hear her, that's who it is in the back. So you ready for family relationship?
Let's do it.
Yay. So, is family important to you?
Yes, and yes.
That's all you're going to say?
You didn't ask me why. You just said.
Okay, well, why? Well, why? I mean, you know how like we like to indulge in the questions.
I feel like family is important just because it is a good reminder. It's a good foundation. And I feel like you need to pretty much, the stones that you're going to walk through your life. Having your family, somebody there to kind of like.
That's a good metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think family is important because it actually helps you to, I guess, create who you are as a person. Right. And it helps you to be able to deal with people on the outside because I think family is a dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really is. Like, some people in your family are just not going to like you. You got to learn how to deal with that, and it teaches you how to deal with it.
Right.
So, yeah, I think family is important. I think intermediate family is very important, like the dynamics of the mother and father and the children.
Definitely.
Is very important. I can remember at one time how families were here in America was that you had the grandparents along with the parents and the children and maybe some aunt and uncles, and they all lived together.
Right.
And they helped each other. And I think that is probably one way people were successful as well, because you had a unit that took care of each other, and you didn't need, I'm not going to say need because that's not a good word, but the outside is not the same way. Like people who work, they send their kids to daycare. Yeah. There's nobody there to take care of them. Grandmother's not there to take care of them. Aunts and uncles are not there to take care of them. And I think that we've lost that as a society. And that's probably why we are so, I think because we lost that, we are not as caring and loving and compassionate.
Right.
Because the people that's supposed to take care of us and supposed to love us, it's broken. It's broken. Right. And I do feel that way.
Yeah, family is so important. I feel like it gives you values and morals. So I think it's very important. Yeah,
and I think we've lost our way. Because it's funny, I had a conversation with someone, we were talking about dividing people with issues is the way to conquer them. Right. So when people are not together, you can have a smaller group of people come and destroy them. So so what I'm saying is that if you have a mass that you have, we'll just use 1 million. You have 1 million people, right, and they're all fighting amongst each other, and then you only have like 500 people come in that are causing the strife and the issues. It's easier for them to come and conquer because those 1 million people are fighting and they're not looking at the bigger picture. Right. And I think that's how family is as well. Yeah. Family has definitely lost their way. Not all families, but I'm just saying, as a whole, as a nation, I think that we forgot how important family actually is. Mm-hmm. So, what is your ideal family?
I'm guessing you're talking about...
It could be anything.
Well, shit, if we're talking about ideal family, I'm going to say me just being married with, a few more, well, I'm not going to say a few more, maybe 2 more kids. 2 more kids, that's
your ideal.
Obviously, married or whatever, and in my career, and he's in his career, and we, have a home and just able to do, everything that we want to do, whether it's travel or just go on vacation whenever, or just go out, whenever, and it's loving and caring. That's my idea.
Well, I noticed you have the love earrings on as well, so I know exactly how you're. I
just like these earrings.
I know, but it happens to be a coincidence. It just kind of ties in. Yeah. My idea, you did the physical side. My idea is more of a support system. My ideal family is support, that we support each other, and we, how can I say this? The people that are in the inner part of the family, meaning that the people who live within the 4 walls of the house, they are always supporting each other. And the family that's on the outside of the 4 walls, their priority is not the priority. To me, that's the ideal family. The people that are in the four walls is the ideal, is the idea. So that means they're supporting each other, they're defending each other, they're protecting each other.
Right.
And the family that's on the outside, they pretty much, if you can't come in and go along with our rules and regulations of how we run in the household, then you can't be a part of it.
So you talking about husbands?
I'm just saying ideal. That's my ideal family. Like,
right.
Meaning,
well, who's gonna come in unless it's somebody's husband?
No.
Whoever
It could
we
be
get
it could be his mama. It could be his sister. I'm talking about people on the outside.
Right.
My ideal family means that the unit that's within the house,
Right.
they are priority. That's the idea. They're protecting themselves, protecting each other, compassionate. So then, if someone from the outside, whether it's a family member or friends, family, try to come
just
in,
enemies, just
trying to come in and destroy what we got going on.
Right.
I have a problem with that. Ideal means exactly what the idea of family, and I'm not talking physical. I'm talking perspective. I'm talking, mental, spiritual. That we are together.
Yeah.
And the outside people is outside, and if they want to come in, they're gonna have to go by the way we run and stuff.
Right.
So that's my ideal family.
Like a mafia.
I could be a mafia, be a boss all day long. Mm-hmm. I don't be playing.
Right.
I may smile and be like, but I know.
Right.
So, what do you think is most important in a family?
The stability. And it might sound cliche or whatever, but I still believe that the man, he gotta be like the head honcho. He gotta be the top. And then it's the mom. And then it's the kids. Like everybody kind of like, as long as everybody plays their roles and do what they're supposed to do, then to me that is the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much that there is.
Right.
I mean, I feel like a man was created to be just that.
Lead. Right. Like to lead.
And if he ain't leading, then the family is going to decimate. It's going to crumble. Right. It's going to have some issues.
Right.
Yeah. Because it is, and it's been proven that anytime you have a man that is not
chaotic
leading,
all over the place,
then you got lots of
it
stuff
shows
going
in your
on.
household. And your wife or your girlfriend or whoever you with, your baby mama,
Yeah. So yeah, that's
it reflects.
Yeah, the most important is gosh, I need to pull this over because I can't. I'm tired of turning my head.
You wrote it too small.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I don't want to just keep turning my head and looking at it, so I'm gonna bring it over here.
Okay, do something a little different.
Yeah, so I can just look up, look down, look up, look down.
Switch it up.
We just having fun. I think maybe, like I said, this is actually really good. And I normally don't.
And you can see the cinnamon in it, which I like. I think it's cool.
It's
it
definitely
gives it a little something.
This is definitely a brunch drink. And I normally don't talk about the
drink too, I feel like.
You think winter?
Even though it's not hot, but it's just because it reminds you of like coffee.
Yeah, like cozy, like a coziness.
Right, like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Let's have some velvet cream martinis.
So that means, so you go to brunch. This is what you need to get with your brunch instead of, like a...
But they got espresso martinis and they've got chocolate martinis. But, this
Well,
is
they come
different.
see you.
Because ain't nobody... Like I said, I think Di Serrano just came out with that, so don't nobody have this.
Okay, well today we got it.
Yeah, I said, I got to get it.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to say that Tina Turner passed away today. You know Tina Turner, right?
Of course.
Yes, so she definitely lived a beautiful life, even though she had her struggles when she was in her 20s. But she persevered. Yeah, she I can't even say it. She still went on and became a very, very successful woman.
Yeah.
And I don't know what she died of. I mean, she was 83.
They didn't say.
I mean, they never really say. She's 83. So, could just
she
be.
had any health issues, or
I don't
she
know.
was at home?
I mean,
Like,
she
who
may.
found it?
I didn't read. I didn't read
You just
any
saw
of the
the
articles.
headline.
I just saw the
Okay.
headline.
Okay.
But I just think that
Yeah, she
I
lived a
just
long-
hope that she was
lived a long
very.
time.
I mean, from what they portrayed on film, that she was very family orientated woman, and so I'm hoping in that her family was around her,
Right.
when she passed away, and that that she just did. She was a phenomenal woman.
Right.
She definitely was. And I think the younger generation has no idea the black women that did a lot of different stuff to get
Opened a lot of doors.
Open a lot of doors. A lot of doors. I mean, because she was doing all the stuff before any of the Beyonce's, any of those. I mean,
Right.
she was doing the wig changes. She was doing the hair and makeup. She was doing the outfits. They was doing the whole dance. I mean, all that stuff is something that she did. Like those are her ideas. They didn't have the same things that they have now. They have the choreo, all of the dance, people teaching you how to dance. Yeah, they didn't have all that stuff. Yeah. They had to figure it out.
Right.
And so that's what makes her phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to give my blessings to, the family and friends that, were very close to her. And, we just have to look at those pioneers that put us in a position now.
Right.
Because they went through, they went through a lot. They definitely went through a lot because they were thinking of, to me, they were thinking of generations later. Like I don't want my black sister to have to go through the same thing that I went through. So yeah. So do you have relationships with any of your cousins? Stagnant? I don't think you do you?
No, I don't think so. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, if there's something going on, like
death
or a reunion.
When's the last time you went to a reunion? I don't think you've ever been to a reunion.
Probably not.
No, you, yeah. And
or if we, for some reason, decided to do a family trip with our extended family, that would be a reason.
It's really sad on my part too. I mean, when you were a little girl, I think you were involved with a lot of family. And I think it's because the Monarchs were still alive. Like my grandmother was still alive. So my mother was alive. And they were very family orientated in that aspect.
Yeah. But you got to think too, like, we grew up around our family. But you got to think, me and Mercedes are the oldest grandchildren. Mm-hmm. Nobody else started having kids for years. So they're a lot younger than us anyways. So I think that kind of has something to do with it too.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's see. My cousin Pam, her kids are in the same age group as you guys.
Yeah, but that's on your side.
Yeah, but it's still your maternal side. It's my cousin, they're still your cousins.
Yeah, but we didn't grow up with them.
No, I mean, I didn't grow up with any of my cousins either.
I thought you did.
Let me see. When we lived in California, the only cousins that we really interacted with was my Aunt Eleanor's kids.
Yeah, she what?
Because
Eleanor's got 5 kids?
Yes, 5. So we saw them on a regular basis because we lived in California. So those, to be honest with you, those were my only cousins that I really, really, really interacted with and grew up with.
Right.
And then on my dad's side, the only time that I saw my uncle's kids, Michael and Sonia, and Jana's kids, and Tony's kids, when we went to visit them, or they came to visit us. But I didn't, unfortunately, being a Navy brat, we did not have that luxury of being around our cousins. Yeah. Other than the ones that I told you. And then, Sandra's kids, when we moved to DC, then I was able to interact with Sandra's kids.
Right. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I'm just thinking about it now, and I'm just thinking about how you have 4 girls, you only have 1 grandchild right now. So I'm pretty sure Mercedes is probably going to have a kid. Hopefully this year or at the beginning of next year. But there's going to be such a large gap between her
Cousins.
baby and Jillian, because they will be cousins. And then Sierra and Jada talking about they don't want no kids.
I know, they don't want any kids.
So I'm just like, they're just going to be aunties.
I know, huh? That's just so...
It's crazy.
It is. So it's just going to be even, to me, even worse than
But
it
even
is.
if they, well, I mean, I don't know. They're still young, so you never know.
You never know. I mean, especially,
change every day.
yeah, especially
Your
with
mindset's
Jada.
going to change.
Especially with Jada. I think her
Right.
mindset will change. Especially when you meet that right person.
Even Sierra, it's a possibility for her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that. I'm just
Right.
saying it for Jada because Jada's real adamant. I don't want to be no kids. I don't want to have none. But she hadn't met the right guy yet, so.
I mean, but she's only 17. So
No,
yeah.
I know, but it's what I'm saying that she's never experienced any of that, so she of course she's gonna say that. I probably said that when I was her age, like I don't want
I
kids.
remember saying I didn't want no kids.
Yeah, so it changes.
Yeah, it's going to change.
It changes, but as far as like cousins, I mean, now as an adult, like I said, I talk to, I think out of all my cousins that I interact with is Michael is the one that I interact with the most.
On a regular basis?
Yes, because we're so close. We're a year apart, but we're close.
Right.
And we can talk
brother
about
and sister.
Yeah, we can talk about anything and
Right.
everything, and we can be honest and upfront with each other. And I just enjoy his company. But I grew up with brothers, so of course I'm always going to gravitate towards the male anyway.
Right.
And I do have
And I'm the same way too, unless you a confident, strong woman, you're not gonna be able to get in the ring with me because it's just.
You said the ring.
It's just not going to. Like, you might go ahead and take yourself a little seat all the way in the back because it just ain't gonna work. Like, that's the only women I can have around me is strong, confident women.
Yeah, there's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason. We all is just the way it
I can't
is.
be around nobody who insecure or they got all this.
Got all this drama, or all this little low key hate.
Because I cut you off and you just and that's it.
I know you don't have a problem. You just like snippity snip.
No, cause
I know. I definitely know. So, why do you think family was created? Oh my gosh, so good.
why do I think family? Okay, you really put some thought into this question. Like
I did.
I feel
I'm
like
a deep
that's
thinker
going
anyway.
beyond, above and beyond.
You
That's
think
like
so?
a I done smoked a blunt type question.
Well, you know what? When I do these questions, I really think about content of them. I really think about contrast. I really think how
Yeah,
deep.
but how could who could really know that? I feel like that goes more on a belief system.
You think it
type.
was a belief system?
Right, like why your creator created family.
Well, I
why
think
it's so important.
I think family was created for an anchor.
Yeah.
Too, because we are sociable beings.
Right.
We can only be alone for so long.
Yeah.
And then we have to have some kind of socialness. And if you don't need socialness, something's wrong with you. Like, I believe that something is seriously wrong with you.
because you need it. Like we weren't. I feel like we weren't designed to be
Alone
alone. It just
for long periods of time.
it doesn't make sense. Like it's like it's like Legos. You're trying to build a Lego and you just don't.
You got
have
one.
that.
You just got one. The heck you gonna do with one Lego?
Right. Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I believe. I believe that family is created to anchor, to teach, to show, to continue.
Our legacy. Our anything. A lot of it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We as human beings make it bad, but it was like you said, I believe that it was intended to be good.
Right.
And to build a foundation, to populate the world and all of that stuff.
Right.
So, do you think you are closer to your mother's or father's side?
It's a no-brainer.
That's an easy. See, it went from a hard to easy.
Yeah. So mother's side, of course.
Oh.
Well, obviously you knew that.
I know it. I just wanted to ask because I wanted to hear from her mouth. Cause you don't give me as much love as I want sometimes.
You're just too needy for me, honey.
She's too needy. I'm not needy. I just like hearing it. Sometimes I just like hearing it. No, the reason why I just asked is because it's part of the family relationship. So
I think that's your love language, affirmation, words of affirmation.
I think it is too, because it bothers me, and I like to hear it. Yeah. And I think it's because I did not hear it growing up. Right. I did not hear how important I was. I did not hear that I was loved. I did not hear that I was appreciative. Not
even from Nana?
Not until I got much older. When I became an adult, but as a child, no. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I didn't. It was just always do this, do that, do that. It wasn't I love you, I'm, this or that.
No affection.
There was no affection at all. There was none. I don't know. It was none. I never got kisses for night and go to sleep. None of that. That didn't happen until I became an adult and I did it.
Right.
And it was probably because it's because they probably didn't get it done to them.
Right.
So they didn't do it.
Right, because they didn't know.
Well, I don't think it's because you just do what's familiar.
What you're taught, right. What's
familiar. And you have to consciously make an aware that,
Especially if you didn't like it.
Yeah, so I guess I've always been that way.
Right.
I've always I'm an affectionate person because I wanted affection. So
right.
I am that way. I'm a very affectionate person.
Right.
And if a person's not affectionate with me, then we're gonna have problems.
Right.
It's gonna affect the relationship.
Yeah.
Very much so. And and I think I don't know if it's a trigger for me, but I think it's something that I have to have. It's one of those, how everybody has to have certain things in life? Mm-hmm. That's one of them. If you can't be affectionate with me, if you can't, tell me certain things, then I'm going to think that you don't like me or right. you don't want to be with me right. or I'm not good enough right. or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Or you think there's something out there better. I promise right. you, there ain't nothing better than me. No. I'm that confident. Yeah, I'm that confident because I don't ever have a problem. As a matter of fact, not to get off subject, somebody had texted me today, and they were like, "Hey, how you doing? I thought I lost your number or got rid of your number." And the first thing I said, "Who's this?" They knew my name. They knew everything, and so they text me back and forth having a conversation.
You just didn't remember who they were because you haven't heard from
them. No,
them.
because I don't save numbers.
You haven't heard from them, so I mean.
Well, yeah, but see, if you, I will delete numbers. Right. I'm not a holder of numbers because I feel like that's
So you deleted the conversation.
I deleted that. Yeah, I delete. I'm a deleter.
So it was just a random number, pretty much.
Yeah, it was a random number. But then they were like, "Oh, this is such and such," and I was like, "I still don't know who you are."
Right.
And so they kept saying, "Oh, this, and this," and then it finally triggered my brain. I was like,
But they didn't say, "Oh, I see you deleted my number."
No, it's funny. Guys will never say that. Because see, that'd be the first thing I would say. You deleted my number? But see, I'm not gonna randomly. I
feel like you just come in contact with different people.
I am the type of person is that if you tell me that you don't want to be bothered with me no more, I promise you'll never hear from me.
So he told you he didn't want to be bothered?
No. I told him that because he was inconsistent. I don't like inconsistency. Like, I'll give you chances, but if you're just inconsistent just because you just want to be that way.
It's a pattern.
It's a pattern, and then I'm just going to just leave you alone. So he was. And
so he was okay with being inconsistent?
Because I told him straight up. I was like, you know what? Maybe this ain't going to work because you're inconsistent.
And he didn't try to fight, change.
No, he was like, that's what I'm saying. Me and weak men, I just can't.
So why the hell he respond?
I guess he just wanted to see. I guess he wanted to see what I was doing. Dudes do that. Like, I don't know. Like, they go and they see that, oh, ain't shit else out there that's worth anything. Let me go back and check.
To me, at that point, you might as well keep on looking because you done lost your chance.
But that's what I deal with all the time. Like, all the time.
Because it's just kind of like, what are you looking for? Like,
I don't know. That's it. You have to ask a guy because I don't
This
know.
not even it. This is just
Females don't usually do that. If you kick her
I
ass
feel
to the
like
curb,
females can be just as complicated sometimes.
no, I
too.
know, but I mean, unless for me personally, if a guy's like, I'm just not, into you or whatever, I promise you, you will never hear from me ever again.
Yeah, because that's just. I feel like that's how anybody should be, but I don't know. It's just.
But they say, but then I've seen men who talk about relationships. A man will go full circle back around and come back to the girl
woman that he cooked to the curb.
the one he kicked to the curb because he knew that she was a good girl.
Okay, well, she probably was one of them chicks that just didn't find nobody else, so she just kept holding on for that person, hoping that they would come around.
No, I mean a lot. No, that's not the case for me. Because
I'm not saying for you. I'm
because
just
I wasn't
saying
waiting.
in general.
Wasn't waiting. I don't be waiting for nobody. I don't wait. I'm too old to be waiting for folks.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I just haven't been in a situation.
No, you have not. You have not. I'm telling you.
No,
like I just, I don't keep nobody's number. They'll text me, be like I have this one guy who texts me every single morning. Good morning. How are you doing? I'm good. I ain't saved his number yet. I have not. I know exactly who it is because he has his little Jamaican stuff, and I hope he doesn't ever watch the podcast because I'm talking about him.
He definitely gonna reach out to you now more than good morning. Oh, I saw you brought me up in your podcast. Okay. Y'all know it. Don't do nothing bad. Even if you do something good, we're gonna talk about you.
Well, not only that, I just feel like it's karma. It comes back around. You do what you do to somebody who was good to you is gonna come back around and undermine
20-fold, 30-fold.
That's why I'm either I got to be straight up in the beginning. I'm straight up. I'm like, look, just want to be your friend. That's it.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you out of my mouth.
And it's their fault if they don't get it.
Yes, and I have to say, I just want to be your friend.
Right.
Not, I don't want to be in a relationship. I just want to be your friend. That's it.
Right.
Because to me, that's being very specific. When you say I want to be in a relationship, then in my mind, it's like, oh, I probably have a chance because you don't know me yet. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what you want. Because there's some people who go and be like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship. And then they really know that person like, oh, I really like this person. So you got to be straight up front. I just want to be your friend ever. I don't ever want to be diagonally laying down with you. Right. I don't ever want to have my clothes off with you. I just want to be your friend. And I'm straight up with a guy. I want to be just your friend. That is it.
Right. Because
I think it's safer that way. He doesn't have to worry about nothing. Then he probably will not, But to me, a guy has to be consistent. That's how I look at it. Has to be consistent. But we're going completely off the subject. Completely off the subject. So, are you close? Okay, we already did that one. Does distance make it harder to build relationships with extended family?
I don't think so.
So you don't think distance doesn't make it harder to build relationships? I personally think it does. If someone doesn't live in the same town as you.
No, I mean, I kind of feel like it's one of those things, especially if y'all grew up together and people just grew up and then they moved and went somewhere else.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean, if y'all are close and you care, you still gonna make a point to, I'm gonna go come see you twice a year or once a year, or I want to go on vacation. It's a good reason for me to go somewhere. Are y'all constantly in contact with each other?
Well, I mean, I had that with my bro. I mean, I definitely have that with Bootsy. With Lewis, it's every once in a while.
Right.
And then with Eric, since this is a new job, he's in Hawaii.
Right.
I really don't know his schedule, but when he was here on the mainland, we definitely did FaceTime once a week. And yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times when you have Bootsy was here for a long time. People lives here, but they live far. So I feel like when people, unless they're 30 minutes from you, okay, maybe you might see them way more. But if they're an hour or so away, because at the end of the day, people still have lives. People still have other things going on. So it's just like, if I feel like you don't make the time for people, your family that's in the state, it's not really gonna make a difference if they live somewhere else.
Yeah, and
It
that's
just depends
important.
on you
Yeah, I mean it's important
if you make the time to do it or not.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean we're not talking about just coming to a funeral or maybe a wedding or even a graduation. Just like
Right.
hey, we're gonna have a dinner or something, and we want you to come spend a few hours.
Right.
I think that's something that I miss about my mother. And I'm trying not to get emotional about it, but my mother always, I don't know if you remember, we always had barbecues like every
I
single
remember.
weekend. Like every weekend. We were freaking having a barbecue. I think I got so fat living in Maryland because we were eating all the freaking time.
Right. But everybody was there and we were all young, so.
But my mother made it happen.
Right.
It was her that made it happen.
Right.
My mother
Even
said,
neighbors would come.
yes, well, I'm having me and your dad are having a barbecue.
Yeah.
What you gonna bring?
It was tradition.
It was like every weekend we was barbecuing. She loved it, and I think that's what I miss most about family. Period.
Hosting. It doesn't even have to be. I mean, it could just really just be anybody. It could really just be anybody. You could just make that a thing. Like,
I mean,
this is our thing. Like, this is what we do every weekend or every Sunday. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, even when Bootsy was here, he tried to do the same. He tried to recreate the same thing. I mean, we went over there a lot of times. A lot of times he had barbecues and stuff like that. But it's it's so different.
Yeah.
Without my mom being here, because she was the leader in all of that. And I mean, my dad unfortunately doesn't do it with us now.
Right.
And
So now one of y'all got to do it.
Yeah, but there's nobody here for me to do it. Who's here besides my dad? You? I mean, who else? I don't have any other extended family other than my dad. Bootsy's not here anymore.
Well, I guess we just gonna have to pick a day sometime.
I mean, but you're always cooking all the time. I mean,
That's different.
Us as a unit.
I'm saying I'm saying you actually hosting.
Who am I gonna host?
That's what I said. We're gonna have, maybe that's something we can plan to do in the near future. We'll pick a day. Everybody that we want to come, be like, hey, this is how we're doing it. We're gonna do this every year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to. Sometimes you just have to do it. Sometimes people just want to you don't have to go anywhere big and extravagant. It's the company of family that you say that you love.
Right.
I think that is very, very important. To just talk and laugh. I mean, because I mean, my family and my mom's side and my dad's side, they're fun. They're fun people.
Right.
It's just that nobody ever gets together. I mean, I'm sure in Kansas City they probably do. They seem to have, but it's just, people don't make it a priority. They don't make it a priority unless someone's dead.
It's just different now because everybody's just doing their own thing, living their own life, and
social media is like let me see what they're doing. I'll just go on their social media and see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then that's just it. And it's like you still feel empty.
Right.
I feel like you still feel empty.
Yeah. You just got to make time.
Make it real effort. So, is it important to you when you get married having a relationship with his family? Is that important? Yeah.
Yes, and it's just kind of just piggybacks off of everything, like just family in general. I just think it's important.
Well, yeah. Getting along with his family and his family getting along with you.
Right,
because they're going to be there
forever.
Like, yeah.
Supposed to anyways.
And I think that we
Even
don't...
if it doesn't, because everybody gets along with their in-laws, I feel like that still shouldn't affect the marriage.
No, it should not, but it does. I think that
for some people,
we don't take the time to, as a mother to you, if you decide to get married to somebody, I feel it's my responsibility as a mother to welcome that person in.
Yeah,
Try to get to know that
it
person.
is.
Try to understand who that person is,
Right.
because I have to trust your judgment. It's not about me. It's about what Valentina decided. And I gotta get along with this person. Now it'd be different if this person is abusing you, hitting you, doing that stuff. That is something different. We're talking about if he loves you, you are his queen. He worships the ground you walk on, and I don't mean worship like you bow down, but you know what I mean. It's all about you. Like, I'm not looking at no other females. This is I got tunnel vision when it comes to Valentina. Then to me, it's my responsibility as a mother-in-law to embrace him and say, okay, this man loves my daughter. I'm going to find something we going to be good together. And I don't think a lot of family members do that. They get mad because it's not their ideal.
It doesn't matter what you want, really.
Not their ideal person for you. And I think that's the problem.
That's just no such thing. There's no such thing as an ideal person, because a lot of times sometimes it's not about what you want.
It's about what you raised your child. You
might never get that. That person might never not be the person you're supposed to be with.
No, but I'm talking about when you raise a child, whoever partner they choose.
Right.
You have to be in the back of your mind. I raised my child the best way that I can. So that means that if they pick this person,
it's
then
for a good reason.
They pick that person for a good reason, and I have to accept it. And I'm just telling you, a lot of family in-laws don't do that. There's always a butting of heads.
Right.
I mean, unless you know that person is cheating on you, or that person is
just doing something,
stealing
wrong,
money,
right.
or doing all this crazy stuff to your child, then of course
right.
you're gonna at least say, hey, this is what's going on.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you, because I feel like you should, even if the child does not accept it.
Right.
I'm going to tell you anyway, because you might be like, you're just trying to break it up. Okay, well, I'm just letting you know. So when it does become full force and you know what's going on, at least you know that I told you.
Right.
That's all I can do.
Right.
And I think the dynamics there is that people don't think about that when their child gets married or engaged, or they decide to be with someone as a partnership, that it's not about the parent anymore. It's about the person that they chose, and you got to figure out how to all get along.
Right.
And families don't. They don't. I don't. From experience, they really don't. So, do you think it's easier to depend on family or friends?
I feel like that's a who you ask question, but
well, I'm asking you.
I feel like it's both for me. It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
Yeah. Gosh. You know what's really sad? It's neither for me.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I don't know if I was ever in a situation that was so dire that I have anybody that I could actually call and depend on them. I don't think I do. And I'm not going to think about it because it's sad to me, because it's like, if I really just think about it, it's like, who do I really have? I've always been there for everybody else. I've been there for my brother. I've been there for you guys. And I just feel like I don't have anybody. I don't. That's how I said it. I don't think, for me, I don't have anybody to depend on.
That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. I think if it was something that really devastating happened to me, I wouldn't tell anybody, and I would just be trying to figure it out, and nobody would ever know, because I feel like I don't have anybody that's really in my corner.
Do you feel like that by choice, or because that's what you've seen?
It could be a combination. I mean, the only person that was really for me, that was really down for me, was my mother. It didn't matter what the heck I was going through. I would tell my mom, and she would she'd still be there for me. Whether we argue and fighting, she'd
Right.
still be there for me. And when she left, that was the only person that I really, really had.
Right.
You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah. But that's life as well. People always say, oh, why you didn't, after you get out of the situation or this, they'll be like, oh, well, why you didn't call me or why you didn't tell me?
No.
It's like, because if I had of, you would have every excuse in the world of why you couldn't. I don't want to hear that. It's either yay or nay.
Right. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people that are like that. A lot of people don't really think about it. They don't really have anybody they probably could depend on. If it, especially when it's something that requires them to give them of themselves.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't feel like that, but I make it a point. So, and I just kind of feel like you can't just always necessarily rely on your family, because I feel like a lot of times people don't really have a good relationship with their family, or they can't really rely on their family, so they just lean on people who they come in contact with on a regular basis, and co-workers, people that just come across, you just never know.
Sometimes strangers are more helpful than people or
Yeah, that's
family.
what I'm saying. Relationships are so important because you just never know when you're going to need somebody one day. So it's always important not to look down on people. Mm-hmm. And appreciate the people that you do have, and value those friendships and those relationships.
Yeah.
Because you might end up needing them one day.
I just, as a matter of fact, just talking about that, when I'm in where I work at, a lot of times there's this older gentleman. I know that, he probably has a family that takes care of him, but he walks every day. I haven't seen him in a couple of days, but he walks. And at first he would walk by himself. He didn't have, just walk. I guess because he's wanting to get out of the house. He would just walk. Older gentleman, just walk. And, you kind of start noticing people.
Right.
And then one day he had this dog, this little bitty dog, probably about as big as this laptop. And he had him in a little stroller, and he would just push him. And then he, sometimes he'd walk the dog, and then he had a bike, and then he had it in the basket. And that's like his friend. And it just makes me feel like, is that how it is when you get older? Like, you don't have anybody? Like, he's a freaking dog. And when I see him and he was crossing, and I'm trying not to cry because this is like so emotional for me. But like, he was trying to cross the street with his dog, and he had him in his little stroller. And people were so in a rush that they would not even stop for this man to walk across the street. And I said, what kind of society do we live in? Because I'm driving the opposite direction. So I didn't have to stop. But I'm slowing down watching him, and I'm freaking cussing out everybody. Like, how the F do you not see this dude? Why can't he? Because I see this man every day. He's like, he's doing nothing. He's just living.
Right.
And his little dog. And so I just think about, is that our life that we have to look forward to? Like,
I mean, pretty much. That's why it's just kind of like.
I mean, but he probably has a family, because I mean, he looks like he lives somewhere.
Right.
But
so he's being taken care of.
But he just likes to walk, and they got him this little dog. And he takes that dog and he sits there. That dog loves him to death. Because, I mean, I've driven past him. He's just sitting down on the side of the road or whatever. And that dog is just like engulfed with him.
Yeah, little dogs are normally like that.
And it's just so
my
like.
little tiny butt.
It's like, is this what we have to come to?
Right.
To animals just being the ones that have affection for us, that we as humans can't have affection for ourselves with each other?
Yeah, it's just like I said,
I know this is
emotional
I'm trying. Yeah,
for
this
you?
is very emotional because I think it's triggering a lot of stuff, and I'm trying so hard not to cry.
Okay, well maybe we need to cut this short.
No, we're not. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going because I'm holding it back.
Are you keeping up with the time?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't even know what time we
I
started.
don't even know what time we started, but do you think a lot of people have family turmoil?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, because no family's perfect.
No.
And people are going to be people. And, you know, just from living life, like I just hear it all the time how, yeah, people love their family initially, but at the same time, it's just a lot of animosity.
I think there's a lot of people who are, what we'll say, and I'm going to keep it rated PG-13 just because I don't want, any real issues with YouTube. But there's a lot of boo-boo starters. There's a lot of boo-boo starters in families. Like they don't got nothing else to do but start stuff.
Right.
And that's those usually the people that keep up the turmoil. Because like your and I personality, we're kind of like, we get along with anybody. We don't have to start stuff, but there's always somebody that's going to start stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's in every family.
Yeah.
And I don't like being around those people. It's kind of like, oh gosh, those are the kind of people you don't tell your business to because everybody and their mama going to know.
Right.
And then they're going to judge you based on that information. They don't ever have a conversation with you. They never talk to you. They never do any of that. I can remember I had a big deal with and it was a miscommunication because I'm the type of person where that's why I said people think that because I'm so kind and I'm so caring and I'm so compassionate and I'm considerate that they don't think I have another side to me, but I actually do. And there was a miscommunication. This was a few years ago. And it was something that was said on Facebook. And they kind of said something they took what I said the wrong way.
Right.
Because they were referring to their children.
Yeah.
And I had made a comment about their children, and then somebody else that was my family and their family came in and said something, and I totally ignored them because I'm like, well, we're talking about your daughters. We're not talking about cousins or nieces or anything like that. And then I guess they took it the wrong way and made a comment in there. I got on the phone. You got a problem with me? See, I don't have a problem. If I got your phone number, I'm going to call you because I don't have a problem because I need to know because I don't want the animosity to keep going because if I'm going to think whatever I want to think, then I'm never going to talk to you ever again. So I rather, since I love you enough, I'm going to call and find out.
Right. Figure out for them.
Yes. And if it's going to be a hard conversation, but I need to know because
I don't think it's going to be a hard conversation for you. It might be a hard conversation for them.
You think I'm a little bit testy?
No, I mean, I'm the same way. Like,
I want to know.
I feel like if your intentions are in the right place and you weren't trying to be messy or cause anything, then you want to find out. Like,
I'm going to call you.
What happened? Right.
I'm going to call you. I'm going to do that because
I don't have a problem with doing that.
Yeah, especially when it's my family members.
Right. Yeah.
If I tell you, if I care about you,
even if you don't gotta be, it can be family, it can be a friend, anybody that you care about.
Yeah. If I care about you,
what's going
then
on.
I'm gonna call you.
Right. If they care about you, they might be mad, but they'll get over it. Maybe
I'm not texting you. I'm not doing none of that. I'm calling you. And if you can't talk to me on the phone, well, when we gonna meet?
Right. Go ahead and get it resolved.
Because we either gonna resolve or I'm gonna think whatever I want to think, and I promise you, it's gonna be bad, and I'll never talk to you ever again.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't have to deal with it. Like my mother used to say, life's too short. Life's too short for bull crap. It's just too short. We either deal with it and squash it, or you go your separate way, I go my separate way. Right. And we just keep it rolling. And don't say nothing to me because I promise you, I can act like you can be in the room like you sitting right here. I will completely act like you don't exist. Oh, I've learned how to do that real well.
Yeah, I know how to do that good too.
Yeah, and completely. And you be mad and you sit there. She ain't saying nothing to me. You doggone right, because you don't exist.
Yeah.
You just a body that's sitting there. I don't even know who are you. Who are you? Right. I don't know who you are. So we already answered this. Have you ever been to a family reunion and
unless you took us to one when we was kids?
I think the closest family reunion we went to is when Big Mama died.
That was no family reunion.
That's what I'm saying. That was the closest one you've ever been to.
Because everybody was there?
Because kind of everybody was there. When Big Mama died, like everybody was there. Like everybody. Yeah, it was a big deal because Big Mama was the shiznit.
Right.
She was the shiznit, and everybody loved her. She was one of those whippersnappers. She will read you up and down, and if you turn around and say, "Baby, you want something to eat?" That was her. And I think when she passed away, everything went to.
She took care of everybody.
She took care of everybody. She took everybody because she took care of everybody. People that wasn't even people who were not even related to her, she housed them. She allowed them to come into her house.
Right.
And took care of them, and that's what she did. And I think that is something that the black family used to do.
Right. I feel like I will be that kind of a person.
Mm-hmm. You think so? I mean, it passes down DNA. You know that, right? Things that your great-grandparents or your parents, how they were, it passes down.
I just want to see people be great, and sometimes you need somebody to be on your side, to show you something different, you know?
Yeah.
I can definitely see myself being just that person. Like, I genuinely care for people, but if you rub me the wrong way or I feel like you're just not really for me, then
it's a wrap.
I get two shits about you. But if you somebody that I know you really, care about me, or you really trying to do better, or whatever the case may be, then yeah, definitely.
Well, it definitely is something that
shit. I probably might be the one that, out of me and Mercedes, one of us gonna end up taking care of you.
I know, huh? Just don't treat me bad.
I already got my mind set up for it.
Don't be beating me up. Get it? Bring me my phone. I'm about tired. I'm about tired of her ass.
You gonna have a little bell. You gonna lock your ass in the room. Mercedes, y'all trying to take care of mama.
Go turn on that mint condition.
Turn it up real loud. I don't hear.
Wow. No, you know what? I always feel like whenever I get to the point where I can't take care of myself, where I'm like really can't take care of myself, I don't want to be here much longer.
No, I think even before you get to a point where you can't.
I'm talking about where I can't. To me, like if you can't drive, that's something different. If you can't drive yourself, that's just because just life itself. Your eyesight just goes bad. There's nothing you can do about it. Right. But I mean, really can't like get up, make me some food, go to the bathroom.
Like you can't do anything for yourself.
Yeah, the basic stuff that you can do. I feel like, okay, I still got life in me. But if I'm in bed rested and I can't get up, I'm just ready to go. There ain't no more time. I mean, because even my grandmother, who is 100, she turned 100 years old. She still gets up. She can still, I'm pretty sure Jana.
Brown?
Yes, I'm sure Jana probably takes care of her really well, but Grandma Brown is still walking around. She can still put herself in the bed. She can still probably fix her food if she really wanted to.
She can take a shower and stuff like that.
Yeah, she can still do all of that. Yes. They can
still talk real good.
She talk crazy. That's probably where I get my whippersnapper from. She's a whipper. She's a whippersnapper. She will read you like this. Yes.
Have you seen a picture of her recently?
I mean, she looks 100. I mean, you get old.
You have to show me.
But yeah. Very, my dad just went and visited them, a month ago, and she's still the same that she was probably.
He went to see her before we did the podcast?
Yeah, he would. Matter of fact, he had just came back maybe less than a month.
Oh, after we did it.
No. He went before. He went and visited her before.
Yeah, before we did it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, she's still, she's probably, I wouldn't be surprised she outlived all of us. She's still is she's still healthy for a 100-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably gonna, get down to the wire.
I mean, her sister lived to 102.
102, yeah. 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, because they were 2 years apart.
But
So,
yeah, that's still good.
but her sister, I think it's so sad because at 100, like everybody you knew is gone. Like other than your children,
Right.
everybody you grew up with is pretty much gone.
But I feel like you don't care because you're able to see
I'm pretty sure
your kids have grown up. You seen them live pretty much their entire life. Their grandkids, like,
yeah, and her great grandkids and her great great grandchild, which
I
is
feel like
really,
at that point you kind of know it's almost inevitable.
yeah, you
People
should know.
start dying around you. People
Yeah.
in your age group.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
just
yeah.
your kids and their family, like, just as long as you take care of and you loved, like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's all that matters. You
Yeah.
can reflect on your life.
I mean, her mother probably would have lived longer as well. I mean, Nanny was an old
She probably
age.
had a good life. She must have took care of herself. She
Yeah.
must have was doing something. She lived,
Yeah.
she's 100.
Yeah. But Nanny, she lived a long time but she
Nanny?
had that was her
Her
nanny.
mom?
Yeah, her mother. She was I think she had some her intestines
She had some health issues.
were completely disarrayed because back then when they had children, there was a lot of things weren't the way they are now.
Right.
So yeah, I think because they said when she had kids, it messed up her intestines, like it turned them, and so she had a lot of problems.
Oh, wow.
And she got older, so I think that just something that affected her.
So she died at an earlier age?
She died at an earlier age.
So she was what, like in her 50s or something?
No, she was in her 80s.
Oh, in her 80s. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. So
It just caught up to.
but she lived through two. She was married twice. She was a widow for the first husband. He died, and she got married again, and she widowed him out. So she
both
outlived
her
two
husband
husbands.
dies.
She
Oh, wow.
outlived two men. Yep.
See, now that I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Your spouse dying?
Your spouse dying, which was
Your spouse dying or your kids dying?
which was her probably Grandma Brown's and Aunt Anna Mae's father.
Yeah.
He died, and then she got remarried later.
And your parents, I feel like those are probably the hardest deaths to, just move on from.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and it's so funny is that I think Grandma Brown's maiden name is White. Isn't that funny? She
Her
went
maiden
from white,
name is
yeah.
White?
I think she went from white to brown.
Oh, wow. Yeah. With a kawinky dink.
Yeah, so, so why do you think family only gets together after someone dies? It was just...
I'm not going to say they only get together. Maybe that's just something that we've been
experience.
doing. But I feel like family normally gets together, during major holidays.
It depends.
Or, big stuff like graduations, stuff like that.
Yeah. I know when, what was it, one year my dad had put together a Thanksgiving. Oh gosh. I don't even remember what year it was. But my mom was still here, and a lot of people from Kansas City had came. Remember we had the big festival, you weren't around, but Jillian was with us. So I think she probably was maybe 3, and we had a big thing.
Okay, so I was in my early 20s.
Yes. So yeah, I think that was the biggest, and Mercedes wasn't there. But Sierra and Jada and all of us. And so my dad's side, it was actually a really nice.
He had it at the house?
No, he had it, the church that they were going to allowed us to come, and the church they were going to, because it was up where they live at, let us use their facilities. They had a big kitchen, and they had a really nice eating hall.
Yeah.
So there was probably a good... probably 30 or 40 of us, and Grandma Brown was there. And she is so funny because we were all staying at my mom and dad's house, and a lot of us stayed down in the basement. And even though I felt like I was too old, I still slept on the floor with my cousins and stuff. Right. We slept on the floor or whatever. I'm like, man, I said I did this when I was a kid, but I didn't want to drive all the way back to where we lived at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna stay
Right.
there, and I had to go to the bathroom, and so I had to go back upstairs because the bathroom that was downstairs was in the room that Tony and Richard were sleeping in. So I had to go back upstairs, and I went into the hall bathroom and I turned the light out, and Grandma Brown was in the room that's you know what I'm talking about, right? And she said, "Turn that light on," and I was like, "I thought you were asleep." I need the light on. You need to turn it on. This is how she was talking to me. I was like,
oh, wow.
Okay, Grandma Brown. Oh yeah, I told you she's a whipper. She did not play. And then we had taken her. My dad decided to take us to some park.
Was she like that when
we were younger?
Was young?
I'm pretty sure she probably was. I'm pretty sure.
So she just wasn't nice. She just kind
yeah.
of
She go even when I was little, I'd go visit her, and she'd be like, "Don't keep running in and out of my house. Stay your ass outside." I mean, Grandma Brown didn't care. She's
I guess that's how it was back then.
Yeah, she just was that. It wasn't. She wasn't being mean. I didn't consider it being mean. That's just the way it was for us. It wasn't like it even
No
kids.
compassion, like
the kids now be like, "Oh my gosh, you're talking to me like
ready
that."
to call the cops.
Yeah, like it was just kind of like that's just normal.
Right.
And so, shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, my dad decided, oh well, let's go to this park, and they got deers and all this stuff where you can go and feed them. They were like real friendly with the humans, and
where he lives at?
Yeah. We had taken Jillian had one with us, and she went with us too.
Yeah.
And we brought the my dad had a wheelchair from Big Mama that they never got rid of. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But she was being pushed in that, and she didn't want me to push her in it. She was like, I don't need you to push me in it. The person who's pushing me is fine.
Who was pushing her?
It was Sierra and Jada's dad was pushing her in it. That's the only one she wanted to push in it. She didn't want me to push her. She only wanted him. She was like, he's fine pushing me in it. You don't need to do nothing. I was like, okay. And I, that's normal. Like, I just kept walking. I was just, because, because I was like, well, I said, you my grandma. She was like, I don't care. He's fine pushing me. And I'm just like, do I have that in my DNA? Am I gonna be like that? Because sometimes I
can't see you being like that.
I don't think I'd be that way, but
No, I can't definitely see you being like
but
that.
I don't know, because she's older. Oh, they say older people don't be caring.
Yeah, but if she's been like that her whole life,
as far as I remember,
I feel like you would be grateful,
I mean, she was, but I guess she just thought I couldn't do it. Like, she was fine. He was doing it just fine. I didn't need to. There need no trade off.
Then she would have reworded it. She should have reworded it.
She didn't care. She said whatever she wanted to say.
No, because that's how she felt. She didn't want you pushing.
What culture do you think has the closest bond?
That I can't say.
You don't know? Okay, well,
I know, because I haven't been.
You haven't experienced. Okay, I experienced lived in California. Mexicans are very close culture, very very close.
Yeah,
very close.
Yeah.
Filipinos, very close culture, and I probably would say the Asians, but definitely those two.
Yeah, Asians for sure.
Indians,
all of them. I feel like
we like only one.
You're right,
Americans. We just messed up from the flow up.
You're right. You can't figure it out. Shit, that's on you.
Yeah, but I definitely know the Mexicans are very close knitted, and Filipinos are very close knitted.
The Hispanics.
Yeah, well, I just say Mexicans because that's what. When I was in California, that's what they were. Yeah, it was Mexicans.
Okay, yeah.
Those are the ones that I was around, that I grew up around.
Right.
Not saying they're saying that other Hispanics aren't, but Mexicans definitely, they always think about each other, especially when they come to America. They will live in the same house. They will do everything they need to build themselves up. Right. And then they disperse, but everybody's is on the same level.
Right. Everybody's pretty much living with each other. That's just...
Yeah. Yep.
That should say that. And I was thinking about this today. I don't know why. Like, what culture means, and what I came up with is just a way of life. You know, because I feel like Americans don't have culture. You know, I haven't been anywhere overseas, but
we don't.
I'm just thinking, I'm like,
lost it.
What does that mean? Like, when somebody has culture, or just to be cultured, like, you know,
because they bring a lot of times when you have the foreigners come over here, they bring how they were raised, how they lived,
everything,
their religion, everything. They bring it and it sticks with them in their family. And I think that as us as Americans being born here, we don't really have a culture. It was kind of like our culture is food.
The American dream.
We have food. Food is our culture. Music to a certain degree is our culture.
Yeah.
How we whatever neighborhood we grew up in, that's our culture. But we don't know where we actually came from. What the people who actually we our ancestors.
There's no tradition. There's no tradition.
Yeah, we're not traditional.
Nobody sticks to anything. It's just everybody just kind of doing their own thing. Like whatever you feel like doing today, that's what you're gonna do today.
Yeah. And I think that it's both black and white Americans. They just kind of like, I'm sure probably, some people are like, oh, well, I'm Irish, so we do this, or I'm, English, or, Scandinavian, I do this, but it's almost like they wiped out.
Right. It's like they don't care.
Well, I think it's generational. They say when you came here to America in the 18th century, all that stuff that you brought from your country, no longer, we don't do that no more.
Right.
So it just went from one generation to the next. We don't do that no more. We don't do that no more.
That's what we like to call it.
Yes, we're Americanized, and we definitely, as Black Americans whose ancestors were brought over here by force, a lot of us, because we really don't know. We can't backtrack. All right, who's our ancestor? Who's that? Okay, I know. The farthest back I know is my grandmother's.
Yeah.
I'll take that back. I knew my dad's grandmother and my mother's grandmother when I was 5. I remember her when I was 5, and then I remember her being dead in a casket. And the only reason why I remember that is because I had to go pee when we were at her funeral, and the only person that would take me to go to the bathroom was my aunt. And as soon as we walked past the body, I just remember her busting out crying. At 5 years old, I had to end up going to the bathroom myself. I don't even, because she couldn't even, So that's all I remember of my great grandmother. But I don't know her mother. I don't know her mother's mother. I don't know any of my lineage. And I feel like a lot of people in this country that are Black Americans don't know their lineage.
Yeah.
Or even if they do, I believe they're one of the fortunate ones.
Right.
Because even if, because I know that, people say that like when slaves were born, they would write down, their name and when they were born. But who has that information? That's like, it's coveted. Like nobody wants to share that information. I'm not saying that they haven't. I'm just saying that
you really got to look for it.
Yeah, I don't know where we came from. Like, okay, all I know is that Kansas City. That's it. And my grandmother my great grandmother migrated from Chicago area down to Illinois. That's it. I know nothing else. So I don't even know
the trail stops.
Yeah. This trail ends and stops. I don't know. Did they live in California? Did they live in Kansas City their entire life? Missouri? Right. I mean, where did they come from? Did they migrate to Missouri? Where did they come from? Yeah. I don't have any of that information. It's lost. And I think a lot of us is lost. So I think that us as Americans and Black Americans, we don't bond the same.
No.
We're incapable because we only know a few generations. And then once that generation dies off, then we don't know anything in any more information. So why do you think marriage among the Black family is at its lowest since the 1960s? And I know this is trivial.
I don't know. I've never been married, so I can't really say. But I feel like it's probably a percentage as a whole. Just divorce is high, just because goes back to there's the family foundation. Like I said, everybody wants to be a hot girl. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants things that are unrealistic, or they set these I'm not saying don't have standards, but people just don't want to work through shit. They just don't want to do it. They don't want to be uncomfortable. They want to have to go and take that extra step, like to make things work. They just rather find somebody else, and eventually we're all gonna die off.
We had this conversation when you said that. I think it was you and I when we were talking about that. People don't want to work stuff out.
They don't.
People
don't want to work stuff out. They just want to.
I mean, if it's something really, really, I mean, it depends. Everything depends.
I feel like anything can be worked out. I feel like.
You think that?
I do. It just depends on you. It depends on if you really want to change, because I can't sit here and tell somebody you're not going to change if you deep down say that you want to change. I'm not going to sit there and say that you don't. And if you love somebody enough and you care about them enough and you want to be a better person for them or whoever your motivation is, then you will do it. But you have to want to do it. If you don't want to do it, then you're not going to do it. And that's just the bottom line. That goes for anything across the board.
And I agree with you on that. Yeah. I agree that you have to. That's the thing.
Right.
You as an individual has to want to change.
Have to want to
if
change.
Someone brings that to your, they tell you, hey, this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you like H, I, J, K, L, N, O, P. Then you gonna have to deal with what comes next if you don't want to. Right. But I think that it goes both ways. There's some people that say the communicator says, "Hey, I don't like this. Hey, this is gonna have to change."
Some people don't care. They're just like, "Okay, well, hey, you doing what I don't want to like. I don't care to work it out. I'm just going on with somebody else."
And there's some people like that.
A lot of people like that.
But what I'm saying is that there's some people that do care, and they're like, "Hey,
I'm not like that.
If you don't change, because this is causing an issue, then this is I'm gonna have no choice."
Right.
And a lot of times, I feel like that is the bottom line. With marriages, period. But I mean, a lot of things with the 1960s and all that goes into a whole thing with breaking up the black family, with introducing welfare. All of that is social issues,
right?
That also cause it as well. And as a matter of fact, I was watching a podcast and someone was talking about black men never were taught to be fathers. And to me, to a degree, that is true. But my father, even though whether his father was there or not, he still had children. He had to make a conscious decision. I want to be a dad. Right. I want to be the person that I did not have in my life. So to me, at some point, you have to be accountable.
You have to decide. You have to want it. That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. You have to, because you are accountable for yourself, for your whatever decisions that you make, whether they're good or bad or indifferent. If you don't accept accountability, then nothing's ever going to change. You're just going to go in a vicious cycle. You're going to keep doing the pattern. You're going to keep doing the same thing that you did to that person. You're going to do it to this person. It doesn't matter how good that person is that you chose to be with or wanting to be with. You are the one who has the pattern problem.
Right.
Because even for me, when I look at myself, there are some issues that I had that I was like, you know what, I got to be accountable for those. Mm-hmm. So if I ever am in another relationship with someone, I'm not going to repeat I'm not repeating those.
Right.
Because I don't want the same outcome. Mm-hmm. And so that's a whole big discussion. I mean, that we can have for like hours and hours, but it does come down to accountability. It does come down to the individual. And if you want to work it out, you're going to work it out. If you think that something's better,
it's not. It never is. That's my whole thing. Like you said earlier, people always think the grass green on the side. Well, don't sit here and act like your shit don't stink, because I guarantee you can always change or do something better, do something different. You know, it takes two to tango. So you got to look at yourself too. You can't just go on this. You know, they did everything. Everything's their fault. Like, no. It's never just somebody's fault. It's never one-sided. Never one-sided. Not when you're dealing with two people or multiple people or whatever's going on. Like, it's never one-sided.
Yeah. You brought up multiple people.
You know, I'm just saying, like, whatever situation may be.
You know what? I got one more question before we end. And as a matter of fact, remember I talked about Polly in the last episode we had? Like 2 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Somebody had asked me to be in Polly again. I'm like, do I look like I got Polly on my forehead?
After we did that episode?
Yeah, it was a couple days ago. And I'm just like, they sent the picture of them and their wife, I guess.
Oh, they're married?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like,
what'd you say?
Yeah, I didn't say nothing. I ain't say nothing. I'm like, I don't have to say anything. The answer is no. Like,
so they reached out to you?
Yes, they reached out to me. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just not down with that at all. First of all, I'm not attracted to females sexually at all. There's no sexual
right. It's
nothing.
Like y'all want me to be. So they wanted you to be the third wheel.
Yeah, they wanted me the third wheel, and I don't be the third wheel. I'm either.
My thing, if people like that, y'all might as well go ahead and go overseas where y'all can marry multiple wives, and the women just.
Yeah, but they don't want. I don't think they want the accountability. They just want that experience of having somebody in their relationship, and then eventually, when they get bored with that person, they can just kick them to the curb. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. People use people. They use them, and then when they get tired of them, they just kick them to the curb. Because why would you invite anybody into your relationship?
Maybe they're looking for somebody long term.
No, it don't matter. Long term. Well, we signed a contract. We signed a contract with money involved. Because
I don't think people think that.
I think that way. I think like that. If I'm gonna
but you gotta agree to it.
If I'm putting myself in a situation that is kind of shady, how much money am I getting?
Okay, so that goes back to if somebody that was a billionaire was like, hey, come on now, let's do this thing.
Okay, well I gotta know this. I'm not gonna sit there and lie. I'm curious. If anything, if nothing else, it's not about morals for me. It's about morals.
It's no feelings involved.
I want to know I'm curious to know what am I getting? What's the benefit for me?
And I feel like you have every right.
I want to know what the benefit is, because I know at some point you're gonna get tired of me. At some point, because you're introducing
you need to
me
be getting something out of it.
You're introducing me to something that's not gonna be forever. Because I feel like that's not forever.
Right. That's not reality.
Yeah. So I feel like if that's the type of lifestyle that you live, eventually you're going to get tired and you're going to want to, it's like a doll. Hey, I love this doll. And then after a while you get tired of the doll and you throw it away. So what is my benefit?
Outgrow it.
Yeah. So what is my benefit? So I'm curious. I'm always curious.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's going to be about what is my benefit. You getting some out of it. I want to know what I'm getting out of it. Yeah. And if it's just having sex, that's not beneficial for me.
Right.
Because exactly. I can have sex I can pick up the phone. I can pick up the phone right now. Right now.
Yeah, literally.
And say, what hotel we gonna meet at?
Right.
That's not ever a problem for me.
Right.
That's not a problem for me. But I choose not to do that because of my morals and my standards.
That's not what you want.
No, that's not what I want.
Right.
But I promise you, if it's a billionaire that came, then I'm curious.
And I'm pretty sure that won't be an issue.
I'm curious. What is the benefit for me monetarily? I ain't gonna lie. If anybody says that they would not be curious, they're a liar. Because I would want to know.
I'm sure, and I'm sure nobody's gonna fault you for that. I mean, we living in a world now where everything's about money.
It's all about money.
Everything's about money.
It's always about money.
Everybody gonna do it for the money. What you gonna do for the money?
I'm not doing it for the money. I'm curious to know what it is, and if I feel
so you
in my bone, it depends. If they only talk about $1 million, that's not enough.
Okay, if they say, okay, well, I pay you so much a month, every month.
For how long? Then the next question is for how long?
Right, and then we could go, and that might work out just perfect for them.
For how long? What is going to be the total?
Right.
And is it going to be something that's deposited in my account now?
How am I getting it?
Account now.
Well, like, no, I need to get it.
Get now, right. And then I am stuck in a contract with you for however these many years.
Right, like where I'm gonna be staying at. I'm gonna be staying with y'all. Y'all gonna put me in a hotel. Like what y'all got going on? I need to know.
I know we kind of being raw right now, huh? Candid talk right now.
I mean, shoot.
So the last question, you said it, so shoot. Right. The last question is, if you could have the perfect family, what would it look like?
You already asked this question.
No, I didn't. I said no.
Like the second
I said
question.
I said idea. If you had if you could have the perfect family, perfect.
Yeah, and
there's a difference. There's a difference between ideal and there's a difference between perfect.
Well, it's the same answer as the first one.
And what was that? Remind me.
Honey, I don't know. Go watch the podcast.
Well, the perfect to me. What is it? The question. Let's see. If you had the perfect family.
Go back.
I know what it is. It's ideal. Ideal and perfect.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I guess perfect for me would be everybody would play their role. Everybody would. Yeah, I guess. I guess the perfect family is that you don't allow the outside noise. The outside noise to disrupt what is going on. Oh my gosh. I guess I did. Maybe I was, I don't know. Maybe I thought perfect and ideal were two different words.
You sound like a robot now.
But I guess ideal is something that you think about. Perfect means that it is like no issues that in theory.
The same thing.
I guess it could be. I mean,
because perfect is
okay.
Probably never gonna happen.
No, there's nothing perfect about anything in this life.
You know what I'm saying? It's probably never gonna happen.
Well, I mean, if I could have a perfect life,
utopia.
If I could have a perfect life, at least it would be someone that was in love with me. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. To me, that's perfect. In love with me and accept all my flaws. And
that's hard to find. Somebody that worships the ground you walk on.
Not even worship, but want to take my strengths, make them bigger, help me with my flaws, and no matter the situation, there's communication. To me, perfect for me is communication.
Right.
Perfect for me is communication. Say what's on your mind, what you like, what you don't like.
Right. Trust, all that.
Trust is a big issue. I don't have to worry about when you leave out. Then I don't have to worry about Sally, Sue, or Mary.
Right. You're not bringing nothing into your home.
No, I don't like competition when I'm in a relationship. No competition. I shouldn't have to compete with no other woman, friend, foe, whatever. Right. That's how I feel about it. If I'm not friends with the female that you are friends with, we got a problem.
Right. They need to be my friend.
They need to be my friend. And they need to be my friend.
Right. And they need to have a husband, too.
They need to have a husband, too. Yes.
Right.
But, yeah. That's another thing for me. That you can't be friend. A man cannot be friends with the female, and the female does not like the wife or the partner that you're with.
Especially if she's single.
That too. But even if she's married and she doesn't like you for whatever reason, to me, there's a problem. That's a problem. Then you, as a man, needs to make a decision.
Right. You shouldn't be hanging out with them.
No, nothing. Right. Absolutely nothing.
Right.
She needs to be scratch. Goodbye.
Right.
You're gonna cause issues in my
If y'all
marriage.
can't get along, if all parties can't get along,
Or if she's being fake about it.
I mean, you can tell. But
I
she's got to
know.
be your friend.
I know. I'm talking from experience.
Yeah.
So, well, that is the end of our podcast for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that it related to, maybe something that you deal with or
Helped in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, that, at least there's a common ground and, know that other people deal with, family dynamics. And,
You want me to go ahead and play the music?
Yeah, go ahead and play the music. And we will see you next time on Candid Talk with Lexi Love.
And Valentino versus Valentino.
You guys have a great night and look forward to seeing you guys on the flip side.
Right.